What is this one sexual fact everyone would benefit knowing? Sometimes a dude just can't bust a nut. It's not his partner's fault. It just happens. Learned this one with my husband over time. It's an amazingly complex calculus of factors that go into it: dehydration, medication, exhaustion, etc. Medication is huge. I had a fling with an older woman, which was my fantasy for ages, and couldn't arrive due to being on stress our first time. I've never been so disconnected between mentally being turned on and physically being unable. I had the same problem. I started taking Wellbutrin to offset the side effects. It worked for me. Also used to get sex headaches. Certain frogs can change genders if there is a lack of males present. Please keep this in mind when using frog DNA to complete you dinosaur clones. Anything going inside of you should have a flared base. As an X-ray tech at a huge hospital, I see a lot of people in our ed. This is the best bet, but just because ETA flared doesn't mean it can't go up and get lost inside too. My wife is an X-ray tech, and one time a guy came in saying he was trying to take his temperature and he rolled over and lost the thermometer up his butt. She took the rays and couldn't figure out what kind of thermometer he was talking about. In the picture you can see it's a long tube with some metal circles that are scattered throughout it. It ended up being one of those Galileo thermometer things you sometimes see on people's bookshelf or desk that have the little floats in water. Very much has a flared base stand, and also not at all what you would use for your temperature. I heard of a guy once that came in with a carrot up his ass and said he was cooking stew when all of a sudden his pressure cooker blew up. Edit, I love Reddit. My highest rated comment of all time is about a carrot in some guy's ass. That happened to me once, but with a crock pot and a potato. How the duck did a crock pot fit in your ass? Very carefully. Don't be offended if somebody steers you in the right direction. Learn from it and apply it to your next time or next partner. May cause pregnancy. Follow your partner's directions and you'll get them there much more easily. I first read parents' directions. Needless to say, I was confused. Okay, Mom, I'm in. What next? Turn left at the nearest roundabout. Put a pillow under her butt. Instead of a pillow, sometimes I just push my hands under her butt. Gives her the pleasure of the squeeze while allowing angle adjustment. Win-win. Wait, can you actually explain this? I'm very confused. I meant how you use your hands. Edit, can someone draw this for me? I'm still confused. Get your hands up under the back of her hips, and you can pretty much pile drive her pussy. Maximum depth. Not a starting move, obviously, but when she's 100% on a roll. Edit, her legs are up on your shoulders here, which increases your depth and also keeps you from falling forward. Arms around under her legs, wrapped around her lower back, palms on the back of her hips pushing her into you. Make sure she wants every last inch of your dick, because she's gonna get it. Poetry. Like Bill ducking Shakespeare. If you can't afford a condom, you definitely can't afford to have kids. I can get condoms for $3 at Walmart. If you can't afford condoms, you have bigger issues at hand than having sex. Not necessarily sexual, but vaginal discharge can be so acidic that it bleaches your undies. Nobody tells you that, but it's normal. Erections can have a direct correlation to sexual desire, but not necessarily. Keep in mind that the existence of it depends entirely on blood flow. One may be horny as all hell and overflowing with sexual desire for their partner, but maybe for an unrelated reason it ain't working. Knowing this can help both parties avoid frustration and insecurities. He might really like you, but Jimbo the DCK worm gets temperamental sometimes. Not just horny and can't get it up, but sometimes you'll get an erection and not be horny at all. It just happens. Enjoy it rather than focusing on what you're doing. I have to focus on chairs and math equations so it lasts more than 1 minute and 47 seconds. I don't know how you could keep going thinking about chairs. My grandmother has this recliner that's suede and I can't stop the wet dreams. I just think about your grandmother to keep going. Communication is key. Key is a minor. You should keep your key far away from a minor. Otherwise, it would be a major concern. Press F# for respects. Peeing and cleaning up after sex are both really important. It really does help you and your partner avoid UTIs, and cleaning up with a quick rinse leave you feeling and smelling a little more refreshed. Don't be afraid to be vocal, and I don't just mean dirty talk. If you're enjoying yourself, I want to know. I don't need full-on porn star dialogue, but gasps of pleasure and oh, wow, when I'm slobbing on his knob get me so hype and so turned on. Sex is the epitome of nonverbal communication, but sighs and moans and gasps just heighten the intensity. Oh my god, this is so true. I've recently slept with a guy who was vocal and had such insanely hot expressions that A, it drove me insane. It was hot AF, and B, he's one of the few who have made it into my wank bank. Edit: yes, I am a woman. Works both ways too. My wife is very communicative. I know sometimes she may be exaggerating a little. But duck it, what a huge turn on. If you press the G-spot and the clit at the same time, it takes a screenshot. If you're doing something and your partner starts saying yes or right there or basically anything encouraging, it means keep doing exactly what you're doing at exactly the same pace you're doing it, until the encouragement stops, subsides, or they come. Do not try to do anal without discussing it with your partner first. Nobody likes surprise anal. Especially without lube. For good anal, the receiver needs to be relaxed and comfortable. Preferably, they've also had an orgasm. Edit: this tip is for women. It helps open them up so you can get in easier and pump more vigorously without it hurting. Start slow, use lots of lube, and listen to what they tell you. It also might help the receiver be more comfortable if they prep beforehand with an enema. How to clean your ass for anal sex. Edit: I have never done the full colon cleaning, and have no idea if it's medically safe. Eating lots of fiber so you have those glorious no wipe needed poops is prob a better idea. Also, pressuring someone to have anal is a good way to make sure they don't enjoy it. Also, pressuring someone into any form of sex makes you a horrible person. Well, I just read an infographic on cleaning your asshole in public. Honestly, very informative though. That's frowned upon where I come from. Stick to cleaning it in private or maybe in the showers at the Y. Learn how to use your hands and your mouth tongue as well as your equipment. Oral manual stimulation can be just as intense as sex. Actually, I've always thought that oral and manual stimulation are way more intense than actual penetration. 'Cause there's so many variations possible. I have to agree with you on this statement. My most intense orgasm came from a blowjob. However, learning about using my tongue and hands came in more than handy. It isn't about one form of sex, it involved a lot of different parts of the body. Just ask and learn about what your current partner likes and wants and give them that particular sensation. You'd be amazed at what you can achieve. My last partner was deep into dirty talk. She knew I wasn't fluent in Russian, but she wanted me to seem like I was talking dirty in a foreign language. I said I wanted to get a can of Coke from the fridge and I have never made her come harder. Every person has a different turn on, turn off. Ask outside of that environment and you will have the most passionate and engaging sex you could imagine. My biggest orgasm was from oral simulation and fingering. It was amazing. I find that penetration is better anyway after coming once, at least. It makes everything more sensible. I've never been into dirty talk myself, but doing it for someone who likes it is really gratifying. Communication is definitely key for sexual relations. That's what makes it enjoyable for both parties. There's nothing worse than having no clue why the other person isn't enjoying themselves. Treat my balls like they were delicate little baby bunnies yearning for hugs and caresses. Treat my dick like it was a $2 whore you caught stealing $10. You want someone to slap the shit out of your dick? Duck yes. RBDSM is that way, sir? RBDSM is wherever I am. This man has a powerful aura. Sorry about that, I forgot to shower last night. You have unstoppable big dick energy.